Okay, I'm making this video because one of my tanks has been afflicted with ick. And if you look, I had 6 neons, um, 3 endlers, and 2 rainbows, a male and a female rainbow. But if you see, the rainbows have it. I now have 6 neons because one of them I isolated. She was covered in it, and I caught it pretty early, but not early enough for the rest of them to get it. But they don't seem to have really bad cases of it. Let's see if I can find, like, the neons really seem mostly spared from it right now. I did do garlic. Yeah, there's another one of the neons. He's good. And there's another one, and he looks pretty good. But the coming up here, you can see the rainbows have it pretty bad, and the endlers, they have it pretty bad. So I did put some garlic in. As I saw, it really hasn't stopped it because, you know, when I first discovered it, there was one of the neons was covered in it, and I thought, wow, she looks like she's been rolling in the sand. Well, I realized it was ick. And then and like I said, you know, the other neons really look pretty good. So I don't know how they were spared. Maybe the garlic helped them. They're all eating really, really well. But you can see that that the rainbows have it pretty bad. There's an endler. He's got a little bit of it, but none of them are really struggling. They are all eating and looking for food. I've been feeding them. The water parameters are perfect. But see, there's another rainbow. And that's the female rainbow, and she had it pretty bad. So I'm really hoping they survive this. But I did do 1 dose of the Super Ick Cure, the API Super Ick Cure. And I did put garlic in. I've done salt. I took out all the shrimp. And they're over in another tank. I figured easier to isolate just the shrimp into a smaller tank than try to catch all these fish and put them somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and do another dose of the API Super Ick Cure. It did dye a couple things blue, like the little suction cups, but everything else looks pretty well spared from being turned blue. Yeah, the suction cups turned pretty blue, but it doesn't look bad in here. It kind of matches the aesthetic. So we're going, and I did also turn the temperature up over the course of 2 days, so it's right between 85, 86, hoping that this kills whatever's left of the ick. Oh, and I did also remove the snails before I put in the salt, because I know that snails will succumb to the increased salt. So I'm going to put in another dose of this API Super Ick Cure, which is methylene green, I think it is. What's the active ingredient on this? Let's look. The active ingredient on this is malachite green, excuse me, and nitrofurazone. So, you know, it seems that all the things that I see on YouTube and have read, that the malachite green is the thing that you really want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in, and let's turn the tank blue again. And this is the second dose, and then it says after the second dose, you go ahead and do a 25% water change. So I'll do that too. I'm just trying to find something to mix that up a little bit, just kind of stir it up in the water. So let's do that. But only one of my tanks. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks. Well, some of them are little, like beta, not little, but, you know, beta tanks and stuff. 2.5 gallon and 3 gallon and 6 gallon beta tanks. But whoops. But I am just going to kind of mix this up a little bit, make sure that everything in here gets treated, and you'll see that it did turn the tank a little bit blue. It's not terribly blue. But I'm really hoping that this does it, because like I said, for some reason, these neons have been spared by it, which is great. I just hope that the rainbows, that it falls off and dies, and that I can get this tank under control. I'm really not sure what to do about the substrate, or if the high heat will kill it in the substrate. If you have any suggestions, please leave it in the comments. But you know, right now we've got garlic, salt, high temperature, and Super Ick Cure, and hoping that this will save my fish, because I will be devastated if I lose this tank because of bringing in, I have a feeling it was the endlers that I got from a big box store. that gave it to everyone. And I was stupid. I didn't quarantine. Well, that is a lesson that you learn one time, because I am absolutely beside myself with these fishies covered in ick. And I know that they're not happy about it. That's the male rainbow, and he's not quite as covered, but the female has been covered since day one. And let's see if I can get a good shot of her. Yeah, there she is. Oh no, that's an antler. Sorry, guys. Yeah, she's up here swimming around with him, and you'll see the male has the pretty yellow tail. The female is just kind of covered in ick and swimming. Yeah, you can see her. She's covered in ick right there. So, you know, right now I'm hoping that when those fall off, they die and they don't infect anyone else, because, like I said, somehow these other neons that did have some on them the other day, I mean, I did look, and when the one I pulled out who did wind up dying was covered, it looked like all of them were getting it, and I thought, oh my gosh, all of my neons are going to die. But right now, looking at them and looking at them close up, I don't see any on them. They're doing really, really good. Well, that one might have a little bit right there, and he might have been one of the ones that had it from the get. But the other ones are all looking awesome. So I'm just hoping against hope that we can win this battle. They don't look like it's getting worse, except on that female. She's pretty well covered, but she's not getting worse. And the male has looked like that since yesterday, so there's nothing new or different with him. And the endlers, the only place I really saw it on the endlers was on their fins. I really didn't see it covering their body. So hopefully, this API Super Cure is working. I will do an update and let you know how it's going. But, you know, if you're a praying person, pray for my fishy tank, and let's hope that what we're doing is working. I thank you guys for watching, and like I said, if you have any better suggestions, please leave a comment, and I will absolutely take it under consideration, because I don't know what to do. I'm relatively new to fish keeping, and finding this really threw me for a loop. Take care and have a great day.